Good morning, guys. I'm going to go ahead and lay out a Lego Duplo. I'm going to do this the quickest way I can. I'm going to use symmetry. So I'm going to start by creating a sketch. I'm going to choose this bottom plane. It is essential that I select a center rectangle. That way I'll have an axis going up through the top. I'm going to enter 1.252 for the depth, tab 1.252 for the width. I'm going to tap enter, I'm going to finish sketch, and then I'm going to extrude that up 0.756. Now, I have an axis going up through the middle, so I'm only going to have to put one stud on there, and then I'll be able to pattern that. So I'm going to create a sketch. I'm going to choose the top of the block I just created. I'm going to put a circle on there that is 0.371 in diameter. I'm going to hit enter. I'm now going to position it perfectly. I'm going to hit the sketch dimension button. I'm going to tap the circle and then the line. I'm going to drag out just so that I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to hit 0.309, enter, and then I'm going to tap the circle and this line I'll drag up just so I can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to hit 0.309. All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish that sketch. I'm going to extrude that up 0.2 and hit enter. I'm going to go ahead and put a little chamfer on this now because it helps them fit together. I'm going to go ahead, right click on that circle, select chamfer, and I'm just, I'm going to go 0.05 on my chamfer. And just a little shoehorn to help it out. I'm going to hit OK. Now I'm going to create the others by a pattern. So I'm going to come up to create. I'm going to come down to pattern. And I'm going to do a circular pattern. I know we're working on top of a rectangle, but it is a circle. Now, the object type I need to change to features. And I want to select both the stud and the chamfer. That way I don't have to do any other work. I'm going to hit axis, I'm going to hit select, and then I'm going to turn this so that I can get that center axis. Well, that has 3 of them. I'm going to change 3 to 4 and hit OK. I've now done the top. That top will fit into a Lego Duplo on the bottom. So now I'm going to work on the bottom. I'd point out to you that I am done with numbers. I'm going to use constraints. Alright, so on to the bottom. I'm going to go ahead. First, I'm going to shell this. I could draw down here and do an extrusion as a cut to get rid of this in here, but instead I'm going to use the shell command. I'm going to go to modify, and let's see, shell. It wants me to choose the faces of the body. I'm going to choose this bottom face, and I'm going to make it 0.1. Now I know that is thicker than the plastic that makes up the Legos, but our plastic's a little weaker, so trust me on that one, it works. Alright, now I'm going to do this bottom in one sketch and one sketch only. You cannot have multiple sketches in a row here or it's going to go haywire. So I'm going to create sketch, and then I'm very carefully going to choose this bottom plane. Note that this little rectangle cutout is selected. So I'm going to click on that. And before I do anything else, I can't really see my geometry from the top. So I need to project it down. So I'm going to go to create, project, and I am going to project. I really only need one circle, but I'll project them all. I'm going to project those 4, and those are the outer rings, not the inside circle there, but the outer ones, down to there. I'm going to hit OK. I'll come up to my nav cube and hit down there, and now I need to hug this. Alright, so I'm going to start with the center peg. I'm going to use 2 concentric circles for that. I'm going to lock on to the center point. I'm going to make 1. And what I want that to do is I want that to touch those. So I'm going to use a constraint called tangent. I'm going to touch this one and then this one. and you can see that snuggles in there nicely. I'm now going to add a second circle, and understand that this is arbitrary. What I don't want to do is I don't want to waste a bunch of plastic and print that solid. So when I say arbitrary, I'm picking it out of thin air of what looks like the right thickness. That looks sturdy enough. That's almost 1/10 of an inch. If you really want to put a number on it, make it 5/100ths of an inch, 0.05. But I'm going to go ahead now and continue on. The next thing I want to do is, if I placed it on here like this, it would be able to twist on just that center peg. So I actually have little fins that are going to go here and here. Now they are rectangular in the Lego. I'm going to make arcs. So I'm going to use a 3-point arc. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click, drag over, .07 or so around there, and then I'm going to slightly come down and stop, and then I'm going to hit OK. Now I want this to be directly above the center of this circle, so I'm going to use the horizontal vertical constraint. I hit horizontal vertical, I'm going to click this, and then I'm going to click this, and it's going to move me over. I also want that to touch this, so I'm going to use the tangent constraint. Alright, so now I want this to be over here. Rather than doing that again, I'm going to draw a line in there and reflect about that line. So I'm going to draw a line corner to corner, snapping onto those corners, so it's a perfect 45 degrees. I'm then going to use the mirror command, and I'm going to choose that, and then for my mirror line I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to hit OK. Now I'm going to pattern again. So this is a circular pattern. I'm going to choose this one and this one, and then for my center point I'm going to go back to this original origin. I'm going to do 4 of them. And then when I do 4 of them, notice that these are all perfectly positioned. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Alright, so now I'm in business. I'm going to go ahead and finish my sketch. I'm now going to do some extruding. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to extrude this center peg. I got to click on it twice because I have that line going through there. I don't want to do any math, so all I'm going to do is extrude it not to a distance, but where it comes here, I'm going to go to object, and then I'm going to extrude it up to that plane there. That'll go as a join. I'm going to hit OK. So I don't have to choose to go a distance. I don't want to do math. I'm not using any numbers here. I'm just using constraints and things like that. So I'm constraining that to go up and meet the top. Now I got to do the fins. The fins have disappeared, but they'll easily appear when I click over in my browser, drop that sketch, and I'm going to put the eyeball on in that last sketch. So now I'm going to extrude. I'm going to extrude this one. I'm going to choose all 8 that I just made. This one, and this one. And then I'm going to extrude that upwards. So I'm going to drag that arrow, get it going upwards, which is negative, and I like going to negative 0.2 because that's the height I made the studs. That's enough to grab it. And that's a join. I'm going to go ahead and turn that sketch off, and I'm going to realize that this is a working Duplo. The last thing I need to do is add my name to it, or my initials. This helps us keep going, keep clear. So I'm going to sketch right here on the side. I'm going to create a text box. I'm going to grab, it's going to give me some sort of strange message. I'm going to drag a box out corner to corner. I'm going to put my initials, CS. I'm going to center, align it to the center and align middle so it's nice and in the middle. I'm going to hit OK. I'll finish that sketch. Then I'm going to go to emboss, and I'm going to choose that to emboss. It's embossing into this face, and I'm actually going to deboss it. Now I'm going to go, I made it 1/10 of an inch thick, so I'm going to go 1/20th, I'm going to go halfway, so I'm going to do negative 0.05. I don't want to punch all the way through, and it's going in. The reason I want it going in is that way it can sit next to another block. If it weren't going in, it would stick out and two blocks couldn't be beside each other. But that, children, is about as quick. I can make one, if I'm not talking and I'm just going, I can go a little under 3 minutes. I tried to explain what I was doing, but obviously you'll be able to reference this as you go. But this is full on, all the tricks, and about the quickest technique. I didn't do anything for learning. I just showed you the lean way of making it.